Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my NHL 20 franchise mode here in the state of hockey. In the previous episode, we went toe-to-toe with the worst team in the Western Conference, but apparently they had a little more fight in them than I had originally thought, but we ended up with a Game 6 winner, winning the series in 6 games, might I add. Jesus, what a series. I know. It was one of those series, and I'm recording these episodes back to back, so I'm sorry if you had comments and I haven't responded to them. I'm sorry. I'm just recording all of these at the same time, so because I do have a plan for another series. Hey, you heard it here first. It's not hockey. It's not hockey related. It's sports related, but you'll see it on my channel when you see it. We go up 3-0 against the Anaheim Ducks in the series, a close Game 1 and Game 2, 6-5 win. You know, if goaltending was better or worse, those games could have gone a lot different. First 3 games were 1 goal. Actually, the first 4 games were by 1 goal. And it was rough. Those games could have been a lot better. I know we go up 3-0 in the series. There's not much more you can ask for. We hold off for 3 straight wins. Not a whole lot more you can ask for in that series. But it could have been better. There were a lot of guys that I looked to perform better, and they straight up didn't. Especially the OT game where Lydecker scored a crazy overtime goal, which I saw with my own eyes. It was the weirdest goal. What an absolute snipe. And he was a guy that we could not stop. The best rookie in the NHL this past year. 39 goals, playing on the 4th line. Yes, you heard it here first, and that's probably why he just went toe-to-toe with everybody. He was playing 4th line. He was playing on the 4th line, but he was playing all the power play time, and he was a machine. Game number 4 and 5, they won outright. I know the OT could have gone either way, but they felt like they were controlling the overtime frame. Game number 5, they just demolished us. They just took an axe and they cut us in 2 like a tree. It wasn't a fun time. Game number 6, I want to say it was 1-1. It was 1-1 heading into the 3rd period, and we finish the game 4-2. Anthony Francis was big. A lot of guys came out big in that series, but there are a lot of guys that I look to that I'm like, damn, really? Really. So let's go ahead and check out the stats for the first 6 games of the postseason. Now, I am assuming our top guys played pretty well, but there's a few guys that I'm looking towards that I'm like, where the hell were you? Kel Newmanen was really, really good. I keep saying that this guy, when he scores goals, he's going to do it in the postseason. 49 goals in the regular season, 70 points. He doesn't put up the exact amount of points that I'm looking for yet, especially as a sniper. He's a young guy. He's going out there and scoring goals. He really reminds me of Austin Matthews, where he's going to score goals. He's going to get the assists later on in his career, but he's here to score goals. I mean, last year he had 16 goals. He currently has 5 and 6, so he's about a goal per game. He's a plus guy. And right off the bat, I see a few things where I'm like, there's not a lot of guys that are plus. Kel Newmanen's a +1. Anthony Francis is the most dominant player in the NHL currently. There's no doubt about it. 6'6", 22 years of age, 242 pounds. He's a big boy. But -2. That just goes to show how much they just kind of took us apart in that series. They just toyed with us a lot, especially those first 3 games. Could have gone either way. Really, that series could have been a lot different. We could have gotten swept. We literally could have. Louis Langweeder was good. 3 goals, 5 games, 1 game winner. When he came back from injury, he scored the game winner. So, I'm not too upset with that kind of play. Kaprizov and Pietrangelo were kind of disappointing. You know, Pietrangelo with 2 goals, 1 game winner. Kaprizov with 1 game winner, right? So they scored goals when it mattered the most. They weren't plus players. They should always be plus players. The first line should always be plus guys. That is just a fact. With the amount of points that they score on a nightly basis, they should be. Kunin was okay. I did demote him to the 4th line just to counteract Lydecker, and I think it did. in game number 6 because Lydecker only scored a late third period goal in game number 6, so I guess it worked. Jack Hughes, pretty disappointing. A lot of forwards here were kind of disappointing, but it was not an offensively driven series. It was more defense and just holding the line. He half a point per game. I'm expecting more from him. Connor Dewar scored a game winner, I want to say, in game number 6. Chris Griffin scored 1 goal. Needed to be better. Mateos came in for 6 games, had 1 assist. He was a +0. Julian Gauthier played 1 game. Oh, yeah. See, Hoglander was... Tell me where he was. He was nowhere to be seen. How did he not get 1 point? I don't know. He was ineffective, and that's just more reason to trade him away in the offseason because of cap issues. Defense, and I'm assuming defense was okay. Brant Clark with 6 points in 6 games. Guy's a beast. There was not 1 goal from the back end, which I need them to score goals. Usually in our last 2 postseason runs, our defense has been the best part of our team. They score goals when it matters the most. A lot of game winners from a few of these guys. I mean, the top 3 guys put up points. Brant Clark, Quinn Hughes, Mironov was a -3, but he was playing a lot of time, so I'll give him a little bit of a break because I love him so much. Matt Dumba was okay. Shillington wasn't really doing anything. Maurice Potvin wasn't really effective there, but he's young, plenty of time to grow. Defense wasn't very impressive, and goaltending, I have a problem with Jaden Weeman. I know he went 4-1-1, technically, but there's something there. I know the first 3 games he held on for a victory, right? So I'll give him a break there. He was good in spots, but he just let up a crap ton of goals, it seemed, and he just didn't stop the puck a whole lot of times. I mean, there were a lot of 1-goal games. I'll give him that. The first 4 games were by 1 goal. So he kept it very, very close. I'll give him credit where credit is due, but it is time for the second round. For the 3rd straight year, the Minnesota Wild are going toe-to-toe with the Chicago Blackhawks in the second round. Another heavyweight team we have to go through. They kind of limped into the postseason 6-4-0, 47-28-7 in the regular season, which is a solid record. There were only 2 teams in the NHL with 50-plus wins. I know what this team is made of. I'm assuming they haven't made a lot of moves in the previous year, so I'm assuming they are still a very, very solid team, and I think they might have added, which is scary. First line, obviously, Dylan Strome, solid young guy in the NHL, IRL. Coming over from Arizona to Chicago, had a breakout season last year. I think he's been rough this year, but he's been good in the simulation so far for the Blackhawks, especially playing with Patrick Kane. 37 years of age, he's looking for cup number 4. He's still got the offensive numbers. He was almost a point per game this year as a 37-year-old. He's got 613 career goals in almost 1,500 games. He's one of the most dominant players in the NHL. You can talk about his character and about things that he's done, but you can't deny talent when you see it. And obviously, the scariest player on this team for the 2nd straight series, we are going through a created player, which is the scariest part. You know they get it done when it matters the most. So, Gustav Slychuk. We have dealt with him in the past. I want to say the last 3 years in the postseason. We have gone through him, and he has been a dominant player. He's having his best run yet, and he's a scary guy. I'm scared of him. Second line, Kirby Dack, Alexander Nylander, and then they got Thomas Tatar, who I don't think they had last year. I think he was just traded to Chicago. Yeah, he came over at the trade deadline, which is scary. They added at the deadline with, I don't know how much money they have. Jeez Louise. Then you have Dominic Kubalik, you have Cole Perfetti, and then you have Taylor Radish. Their top 9 is fantastic. I want to say their top 12 is phenomenal. Then you have Noel Akari, you have Brandon Saad, and you have Sven Barchi. That is a phenomenal forward core. Everything seems to work out. The only thing I disagree with is an 86 overall fourth-line center, just because that rarely ever seems to work out. They got a solid team. Obviously, the biggest guy I'm scared of is Gustav Slychuk. And then Patrick Kane, obviously. A lot of these guys here I'm very, very scared of, especially a goal scorer in Dominic Kubulek. He only scored 17 goals this year, but he has scored goals in the past. I'm scared of this offensive core. It's time for the defense. Okay. Obviously, we have faced Oliver Schouty and Adam Boquist in the past. Adam Boquist is their franchise guy. He, potential future Norris Trophy winning defenseman. IRL too. He is a fantastic defenseman. He is obviously their cornerstone in that department. You have Luke Snudgaard, you have Anton Olsen, you have Max Lajoie, and you have Sebastian Aho. Not the good Sebastian Aho. No offense. It's an okay defensive core. I think Anaheim had a better all-around defensive core. They might have even had a better offense. But I understand why they're here in the second round yet again. Goaltending, because it always comes down to goaltending. Robin Lehner is their backup, but you know who their starter is? It's Jin Rohn, the 21st overall pick in the 2022 NHL draft. Franchise goalie. He gets it done. He's one of the best goalies in the NHL. 37 wins, 48 last year. Didn't have the best regular season stats, but in the postseason, he's going to be your guy, obviously. That is just a fact. There's scratch players. You have Jason Dickinson, you have Ryan Johansson, and you have Nicholas Waugh. That is a fantastic team. Their defense is probably their weakest part, but if you have one or two solid defensemen, that's all that really matters. And something that I failed to note when I was talking about the Chicago Blackhawks, when they faced the Colorado Avalanche, they were down 3-0. And I wouldn't say our opposition was in the similar situation, but the Blackhawks pulled it off, a reverse sweep, beating the Colorado Avalanche in 7 games. They're a team that can come back, and I hate dealing with teams that have fight. Some teams just lay down and die, like Winnipeg last year or LA a few years ago. I like teams that just lay down and die. Sometimes they do. But Chicago is one of those teams, just like Anaheim, that had fight, but Chicago pulled it off. A reverse sweep. But we have home ice advantage. Let's go into game number 1. Jason Zucker is ready to play. Hell yes, Jason Zucker. Welcome back to the squad. I'm going to take out Mateos. I'm going to keep him up here in the NHL just because of injuries, but I think I'm going to put Petrangelo back there on the first line, because I want that line to just pop off, but the second line needs to get better. Game number 1, home ice. Here we go. 2 straight years again with victories against Chicago in the second round. Let's make it 3 in a row. Game number 1, first period. 1-1. Marcus Mironov, the first defensive goal of the postseason on the power play. Noel Akari ties it up, 1:10 remaining in the first. Hey, Weeman, do we have to have a talk this early? You just need to hold on for a minute and 10 seconds. That's all you really need to do. Just hold on for a few seconds, 70 seconds to be exact. Literally. Just hold on to the puck, Minnesota. That's all you really need to do. Because a 1-0 lead looks a whole lot better than a even game. Shots are pretty even. Second period. Taylor Radish makes it a game for the Chicago Blackhawks. They are leading in shots. It's 2-1 Chicago. Where's our offense? I have yet to see an offensive explosion from the Minnesota Wild. A 6-5 game was our most goals in the postseason so far, and that was too close. That is just a fact. I have not seen us take over a game yet. I have not seen it. Come on, Minnesota. Third period. Here we go. Come on, Minnesota. Quick one. We need a quick one. Come on, Minnesota. Come on, Minnesota. Please. Please. Come on, Minnesota. Come on. Chris Griffin. Sophomore season. And Dylan freaking Strome power play again for Minnesota. Cale Newman on the power play. It's a tie game. Back-to-back goals. Both teams getting goals here in the third period. It looks... I don't want to say anything. Shut up, Owen. And we are heading to overtime. Shots are dead even. 2 goals for Minnesota in that period. If only we could have held on. But no. We have to head to OT, where we have had a lot of struggles in OT in the previous rounds. So I have no pep talk. Score a goal. You need 1, Minnesota. Come on, Minnesota. Come on. You need 1. Minnesota. Come on. This is great commentating, by the way. Come on. There we go! Jack Hughes in OT. That is exactly what I need to see from Jack Hughes. 2 points, 1 hit. I will frickin' take it. The biggest goal of his postseason career, I would say. And Jason Zucker is hurt right away. I hate this game. You know that? I frickin' hate this game. It says he's healthy, and he comes back in and he hurts himself right away. How long is he out for? Did it say how long he's out for? Because Mateos is coming back in. I do like Mateos there on the 4th line. They're not really the same players, but... should I move Kunin back up? No, I'll leave Kunin there on the 4th line. Well, no, I'll leave him there. He's Kunin's shutting down their 4th and 3rd line, so I'll leave it at that. Okay. Injury report. It's probably pending, right? Ooh, May 23rd. Yeah, he's out. He's gone. So it's Mateos' 4th line now. Game number 2. We get an OT victory similar to round number 1. Game number 2. I need the offense to come out of its shell. It has been lackluster so far. First period. 1-0. Matt Dumba. 2 goals from the back end in 2 games. Hell yes. Shots are in our favor, 14-8. 20 minutes of play done. Here we go. Second period. Oh, I don't like this game. I don't like this game. They come up in shots. It's 20-21 in our favor. 1-0 though for Minnesota. I don't like this at all. I don't. I'm straight up gonna say that. I hate this. Can we just have a 2 or 3 goal lead at one point during this series, please? Third period. Here we go. Oh my God. Ugh. Shoot me, please. Oh, Kirill Kaprizov, the captain. It's 2-0 Minnesota here in game number 2. Hold on, Minnesota, please, for the love of God. Can you have at least a 2-goal victory? Please. Oh, Chicago with the power play late. Oh, and we kill it off. Yes. Yes. Come on, Minnesota. Hold it off. 1 minute remaining. Cole Perfetti. 30 seconds remaining. Breaks Weeman's shutout. And Weeman was the guy. Kaprizov with the biggest goal. He's got 2 game winners now. So, yet again, 2 games with 1 goal away. Oh my God, I hate that. But we get the most important stat. A W. A big fat W. Okay, game number 3, heading into the United Center. Similar to the first round, we are heading into our opponent's arena with a chance to make it a 3-0 deficit. Chicago has faced worse, literally. They reverse sweep the Colorado Avalanche last round. Let's not fall into Colorado Avalanche's ways. Game number 3. Here we go. First period. 3-1. Yes, Anthony Francis scores early. 54 seconds into the first period, Thomas Tatar ties things up, but Louis Langweeder and Petra Angelov score 2 straight. Pretty quick goals there. Oh my God, we had 20 shots. Jesus, we're on pace for 60 shots this game. Chicago had 5 shots. I'm surprised we didn't score more goals. Roan is standing on his head. Second period. And we get the 4-1 goal, Kirill Kaprizov, early in the second period. We only had 7 shots that period. Chicago had 13, but it is still 4-1 Minnesota. Third period, here we go. Come on, Minnesota. Maurice Potvin's first ever postseason goal makes it 5-1. Power play for Minnesota. This game is over. Louis Langweeder's second of the evening. Here we go. Finish this game off. Power play for Chicago late. Does not look like they're going to score 5 in regulation. And it looks like we will hold on with the 6-1 victory. Is that really holding on, Owen? Minnesota takes a 3-0 lead for the second straight series, but the difference is Chicago has done it before, and they could potentially do it again. Okay, so let's talk for a bit. This video has been pretty quick, but it's similar to last round where we went up 3-0. Don't give them any hope. Do not give them the slightest bit of hope. None. Zero. Zilch. Give them nothing. Minnesota, give them absolutely no hope. Don't let them get a taste of victory because Chicago has done it before. They have the ability. We have seen it. They have done it before. Don't give them any hope. Shut them down. Score as many goals as you possibly can. Embarrass them. Game number 4. United Center here in Chicago. First period, boys. Chicago scores early. Gustav Slychuk, that's not a name I've seen yet, and I'm glad we haven't seen that name yet, or this series could be a little different. Kaprizov ties the game, and Kubalik scores on the power play. Aren't those the 2 names that I said to watch out for because they can score goals? Of course. They're doubling us up in shots. 14-7 Chicago. Second period. We tie things up. Mateos on the 4th line. That's exactly what the doctor ordered. They're out shooting us by 2, but it is a tie game. It's anybody's game at this point. 1 goal should win it. Does Chicago make this a series, or does Minnesota head back to the Western Conference Finals for the 3rd straight season? Guess we'll find out. Here we go, Minnesota. Come on, power play early for Chicago. Kill it off. That is a big penalty kill. Who the hell is taking penalties? But we know who's scoring goals. Anthony Francis with an early 3rd period goal and a power play of her own. Brett Clark on the power play. 2-goal lead. Cale Newman and make that 3. Make that a 3-goal lead for the Minnesota Wild. 5 minutes. Louis Langweeder. Oh my God, embarrass them. That's exactly what I said, Minnesota. Yes. Yes. Minnesota is heading back to the Western Conference Finals for the 3rd straight season. Cale Newman with a fantastic game all around. What a game from everybody. I said go out and embarrass them. You score 13 goals in 2 games. That's exactly what I asked for, and you go out and you produce. You do it, you produce. But this has been a pretty short video. Second round is over and done with. I guess I'll go over the stats pretty quick, or slower. I don't know. Make this video a little bit longer. Maybe trick the people into thinking it's a longer series. Forwards. Let's talk about it. Cale Newman with a fantastic game number. I guess that was game number 4. We sweep the Chicago Blackhawks. Wow, that was nice. I like that. 8 goals for Cale Newman in 10 games. He's keeping pace. I think he had 5 and 6 last round. Now he has 8 and 10, so he's keeping pace for almost a goal per game, which is fantastic. 14 points in 10 games. Same for Anthony Francis, so you can say they've been as impressive as each other. Anthony Francis seems to score goals to tie a game, or at least get us the lead, which is impressive. I don't understand this stat because it never shows up because we've had plenty of game tying goals, and it doesn't show up. I think it's broken, but this game is broken anyways because 90 overall goaltenders never produce like 90 overall goaltenders, and 78 overall goaltenders produce like they're a 99 overall goaltender. So it'd be like that sometimes. Louis Langweeder has continued to be impressive. This is exactly what I asked for. 48 points in the regular season in 79 games. He continues to get better. He's a goal scorer. We know that. 6 goals in 9 games. 9 points. He's a point per game. He's shooting 25%. God darn it. 24 shots, 6 goals. That's 25%. My math is correct. That's literally, it says it, Owen. Your math doesn't need to be correct. 2 game winners. 1 power play goal, 2 power play points. He's been impressive. He's only playing 12-30 a night. I can't wait to get this guy on the second line because I really, really like his play. I think he's been an impressive player so far in his career, and I think he's only going to get better. Kirill Kaprizov. Now let's give a hand. Kirill Kaprizov scores goals. Scores goals? That doesn't sound right. Scores. Yeah, that's English. Scores goals at the exact moment we need him to. Game-winning goal. 2-game winners. 2-game winners. This isn't his best postseason so far. I mean, last year he had 23 points in 25 games. 9 points in 10 games is quite impressive. I don't give him enough credit. It's not like a year number or 2 years ago where he had 33 and 22 where we lost in the Cup Finals, right? If we're winning consistently and he doesn't have the exact amount of points that I'm asking for, we're winning, and that's exactly what matters. Jack Hughes. This is a guy that I'm going to consistently be on for the rest of his career. He needs to live up to the first overall status. A lot of players do. Some players don't. Yakupov. Jack Hughes, I think IRL will live up to that status. Some players just take a bit. He's kind of broken out of his shell in this postseason. He had 3 points in 6 games in the first round. Now through 10, he has 9. And he had the most important goal of his postseason career. Probably. 1 game-winning goal, and that was the OT game in the first game. So, that's exactly what I'm asking for. Alexei Petrangelov scores goals. He does. He hasn't been as impressive as I thought. He's been the weakest person on the first line. He's a -1 still, but he's picking up the pace. He's 1 game winner. 2 power play goals, right? He is important. He scores in the power play. He scores when we need him to. We're winning. Chris Griffin got better. You know, he had 1 point through 6 games in the first round. Now he has 5 through 10. He's half point per game. This is basically what I'm asking for in his career. If he's half point per game, if he's scoring goals, you know, he is. He's been okay for us. Luke Kunin, we did demote him to the 4th line, but I think that really settled things down on the 4th line. They didn't really get any depth scoring from their players, and he really shut it down. Stelio Mateos. What a freaking name. You are an absolute beauty. I love you to death. 2 points in 9 games. He had 1 goal. Gotta love him. Connor Dewar didn't have any points, but he was good defensively. Nils Hoglander. And this is... Beckman wasn't great. He's a plus player. Gauthier, you know, he played 1 game, didn't have anything, and Jason Zucker got injured again until May, or late May, right? Nils Hoglander, you know, if he had a more impressive end to his career in Minnesota, I'd be more reluctant, is that the right word, to trade him? I wouldn't want to trade him away as easily if he had a nice postseason run and a nice regular season. Regular season was maybe a sign of things to come. With a guy like Langmeter coming up, with a guy like Chris Griffin coming up, a lot of assets moving around, you were going to ask for more money. You're probably gone, Nils. You know, you have the stats to be a better player, you're just not showing. You have great puck skills, you have pretty solid defense. You're not the best skater. You have great sense. You have a 99 overall offensive awareness. You have pretty good shooting. You just aren't the player anymore. 2 points in 10 games. You're a plus player at least. You know, that's not all I can ask for. You were an 88 overall. We're paying you $4.5 million a year. You need to be better. We traded you as a guy to be that second line left winger, and you were for a while, but now you're falling out of favor. You need to make it harder for me to trade you away. You do. That is just a fact. Defense. You have Brant Clark with 10 points. Mwah. Gotta frickin' love Brant Clark. How can you not like Brant Clark? He's just skyrocketed up in points. How can you not love him? Quinn Hughes has been really good. No goals, though, but we've gotten a lot of goals from the back end so far, which is huge for us. Matthew Dumba has been really solid. Marcus Mironov, 4 points. Maurice Potvin, you know, he's an 80 overall. He's only going to get better as an offensive defenseman. I think he'll get better, don't worry. Oliver Shillington, 1 point, 10 games. He's a plus player, though. We'll probably let him go due to cap restrictions at the end of this year, though. But let's go out on top. Goaltending. I hate giving credit to goaltenders because you never know when they're going to disappoint you the most. Usually it's late into the postseason or really, really early. You never really know. Jaden Weeman. I continue to battle in my mind with why sometimes he puts on some of the best performances ever. And sometimes he lets in 3 straight goals in the first period and we have to fight for it. Right? 8-1-1. He's lost 2 games so far. He's lost 2 games so far in the postseason. He's 9-16 in a 251 goals against. I like the goals against average. Save percentage can be better. I think goaltenders are voodoo, so I'm going to stop talking about him because it's bad luck. But he's been okay. He's been okay. But he has a lot of He has a lot of goaltenders behind him in a roster that are going to contend for that starting spot very, very soon. The question is, who will we be facing in round number 3? The Western Conference Finals, who will it be? I'm excited to see who it's going to be. It will be the Vegas Golden Knights. And in the Eastern Conference Finals, it's the Tampa Bay Lightning and the New Jersey Devils. Okay, we have a little bit of competition. 50 wins in the regular season. This should be a fun one. Thank you very much. If you've enjoyed this one, please leave a like, leave a comment, share with people who you think may enjoy this sort of thing. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.